When you hear the name Medusa, what comes to mind? A monstrous villain with snakes for hair, whose gaze turns men to stone. That's the popular version, but the original story is far more tragic and complex. Let's journey back to ancient Greece and uncover the truth behind one of mythology's most misunderstood figures. Before the curse, Medusa wasn't a monster at all. She was a beautiful young priestess, sworn to celibacy, serving in the magnificent temple of Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. She had two sisters, Steno and Euryale, who were immortal Gorgons from birth, but Medusa herself was born immortal. Her beauty was legendary, drawing admirers from all over Greece. But it was this very beauty that would lead to her downfall. One day Poseidon, the powerful god of the sea, saw Medusa in the temple. Overcome with desire, he didn't take no for an answer. He violated her right there on the sacred floor of Athena's own sanctuary. This was a terrible act of desecration, a grave insult to the virgin goddess. Now, you might think Athena would punish Poseidon, the actual perpetrator. But in the often-edged world of Greek myths, the victim was blamed. Enraged that her temple had been defiled, Athena unleashed her fury not on the powerful male god, but on the helpless mortal priestess. Athena's punishment was cruel and transformative. She twisted Medusa's beautiful features into a hideous mask of terror. Her lovely flowing hair was turned into a writhing nest of venomous snakes. And worst of all, her eyes, once admired, were cursed to turn any living being who met her gaze into solid stone. Athena then banished the monstrous Medusa to a remote island to live out her days in lonely, bitter isolation. Her immortal sisters, Steno and Euryale, chose to go with her, standing by her side in her misery. So, the terrifying Gorgon we all know was actually a victim, punished for a crime committed against her. She became a monster not by choice, but by the whim of a vengeful goddess. Her power to petrify wasn't a weapon she chose. It was a curse, a constant reminder of her trauma, and a defense mechanism that isolated her from the world. Years passed, and Medusa's story became a legend, a whispered tale of a fearsome beast. This is where the hero Perseus enters the picture. King Perseus, who wanted to marry Perseus's mother, Dano, sent Perseus on what he thought was an impossible quest to bring him the head of Medusa. The king hoped Perseus would fail and be turned to stone, but Perseus had divine help. Hermes gave him winged sandals to fly, and Athena herself, the very goddess who cursed Medusa, provided him with a mirrored shield. She wanted Medusa dead, her tragic creation erased from the world. Hades gave him a helmet of invisibility. Guided by this divine gear, Perseus found Medusa's lair. He cleverly used the reflection in the polished shield to look at Medusa without meeting her eyes directly. He found her asleep, a sad, lonely figure, and with one swing of his sword, he beheaded her. Even in death, Medusa's story isn't over. From her severed neck sprang to beings fathered by Poseidon, Pegasus, the winged horse, and Chrysaor, a giant warrior. Her head, still possessing its petrifying power, became a weapon for Perseus. He used it to defeat his enemies, including the sea monster Cetus and King Polydex himself. Eventually, he gave the head to Athena, who placed it on her shield, the Aegis. As a symbol of her power, a final, bitter irony. So, the next time you see an image of Medusa, remember her true story. She wasn't just a monster to be slain. She was a woman who was wronged, punished unfairly, and ultimately silenced. Her story is a powerful reminder of how myths often hide deeper truths about justice, power, and who gets to be remembered as a hero versus a monster. Thanks for watching and joining me on this deep dive into mythology. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories behind the legends. See you next time.